Ozymandias. Say hello to Adrian Veidt, the self-styled smartest man alive who rebrands himself as Ozymandias because Adrian apparently wasn't theatrical enough. In Alan Moore's Watchmen, he's the smooth, eco-savvy tycoon who sells designer perfume by day and secretly balances the fate of the planet by night. While every other masked crusader is busy trading punches with street crooks, Ozy is playing four-dimensional chess with the entire human race. It's 1985, and the Cold War clock is frozen at 5 minutes to midnight. One twitchy finger on a nuclear button could wipe out civilization before you finish this sentence. Veidt stares at that doomsday timer and decides ordinary heroics won't cut it. His answer? Stage the most expensive practical joke in history. A fake alien invasion so terrifying that the United States and the Soviet Union will drop their missiles and cling to each other instead. To sell the illusion, he grows a colossal, psychic, squid-like creature in a secret lab, then teleports it straight into New York City. The arrival unleashes a mental shockwave so fierce it liquefies brains across Manhattan, leaving 3 million people dead in seconds. It's genocide disguised as a group hug. What truly chills the blood isn't the body count. It's Veidt's ironclad belief that mass murder is just an ugly line item on the invoice for world peace. When the surviving heroes finally corner him, he politely informs them the blast went off 35 minutes ago. Checkmate. Stopping him now would only expose the hoax, restart global hostilities, and turn those 3 million deaths into a pointless atrocity. Faced with that logic, the heroes lower their masks, swallow their fury, and let him win. Veidt walks away triumphant, reputation intact, convinced that history will send him a thank you card. We, however, are left staring at the rubble and asking the one question that keeps us up at night. If evil ends a war, is it still evil?
Culmination of a dream more than 2,000 years.
The Joker. Meet Gotham's perpetual wildcard, a clown-painted anarchist who torches stacks of cash just to watch the ashes drift. In Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, he isn't chasing loot or headlines, he's chasing the punchline that proves the universe is one bad day away from bedlam. To make his case, he locks onto District Attorney Harvey Dent, Gotham's sparkling white knight whose resume is cleaner than hospital tiles. The Joker strings together nightmare set pieces, bank heists that bankroll nothing, social experiments on twin ferries, and a personal crucible so cruel it feels like the city itself is cracking a grin. When a rigged warehouse levels Rachel Dawes and leaves half of Harvey's face scorched into a living coin toss, the final barrier snaps. Dent limps out of that hospital not as Gotham's guardian, but as Two-Face, walking proof that hope can be scarred beyond recognition. That metamorphosis is the Joker's scoreboard. The skyline may still stand, yet its moral compass is now spinning like a carnival wheel. Batman and Commissioner Gordon scrambled to salvage the legend. They hide Dent's murders behind cape and cowl, letting the Dark Knight swallow the blame so the White Knight can remain stainless in memory. One whispered lie props up an entire metropolis, and the clown can't stop cackling. His thesis lands. Virtue is honest only until it's cornered, and even heroes will repaint the truth to keep the lights on. Gotham is safe, but its salvation balances on a secret so brittle it could shatter the moment anyone taps it. Standing in that uneasy hush, we almost hear the Joker murmur, "See? All it takes is a little push." Hans Landa. Say Guten Tag to Colonel Hans Landa, the silver-tongued detective the Nazis nicknamed the Jew Hunter, a title he wears like a medal. He glides into Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds, sipping fresh milk and speaking flawless French, a gentleman fox strolling straight into the henhouse. Landa's real weapon isn't the pistol on his belt, it's the polite chat that loosens every bolt in your nerves. One moment he's praising your farm's peaceful view, the next he's mapping the hiding spots under your floorboards, still smiling. He never raises his voice, never breaks a sweat. His words are scalpels, and he performs surgery on secrets until his victims spill them for him. Winning, not ideology, is his compass. So when the Third Reich starts to crumble, Landa swaps sides without blinking. Operation Kino, the daring plot to blow up Hitler inside a Paris movie theater, works only because Landa gently nudges the Führer toward the blast, then sells the Allies the keys to the kingdom. His asking price? A beachfront cottage on Nantucket, a suitcase of cash, and a hero's handshake from American brass. While other war criminals line up for the gallows, Landa cruises toward retirement with a full pardon and a future tan. Sure, Lieutenant Aldo Rain carves a swastika into the colonel's forehead, but compared to Nuremberg that scars a paper cut, enough to sting when he combs his hair, not enough to cost him freedom. The hunter stays undefeated, wearing his new mark like an autograph on a victory photo. Anton Chigurh. Picture a man who strolls into a dusty Texas gas station carrying a compressed air cattle gun instead of small talk. That's Anton Chigurh, the ice-cold wanderer from Cormac McCarthy's No Country for Old Men. Calling him a hitman is like calling a tornado a light breeze. He has fate in cowboy boots, a bowl-cut shadow with eyes that never change temperature. Jigger's worldview is brutally tidy. The universe runs on chance, so human rules are just noise. When he corners a stranger, he flips a weathered quarter and lets it choose whether the heartbeat continues. The coin toss isn't mercy, it's a lesson. Heads, you stagger away forever changed. Tails, the bolt gun coughs and you drop before the thought fully forms. He prowls West Texas on the scent of $2 million in stolen drug money, moving the way a shark follows blood. Every motel hallway he enters becomes a crime scene. Every ring of a telephone ends in a flat line. Jigger claims no creed but momentum. He presses forward because forward is the path a bullet knows. Watching this grim parade is Sheriff Ed Tom Bell, an aging lawman who still believes right and wrong have fences you can lean on. Bell struggles to read a world that suddenly speaks in chaos and cruelty, and the realization hollows him. The landscape has outgrown his moral map. By the final page, Jigger has gathered the cash and tied off loose ends with surgical calm. Yet fate, the master he pretends to embody, reminds him no one holds permanent immunity. A random car slams into his ride, bones snap, and the aura of invincibility fractures. Bleeding and dazed, he buys a shirt off two shocked teenagers, melts into the heat haze, and is gone. Proof that even the avatar of chance is still subject to its roll of the dice. The quarter continues spinning somewhere in the dark, and nobody, not even its keeper, gets to call how it lands. The pigs. First, they march beneath a ragged flag that screams, "All animals are equal," snorting speeches of freedom while the chickens cluck in applause. Napoleon, the hog with the deepest grunt, vows the farm will blossom into a four-legged paradise once Farmer Jones is chased down the lane. And for a season it works. No whips, no ration books, just dawn chores and proud songs that shake the rafters of the barn. But power, like extra grain, piles up in the trough where the pigs sit tallest. Napoleon trains a litter of shepherd pups into his personal strike force and lets Squealer, the silky-tongued press secretary, spin every broken promise into patriotic poetry. When feed runs short, it's called a readjustment, never a cut. When the windmill collapses, Snowball the exile is blamed before the dust can settle. Slowly the sacred 7 commandments shrink, scratched over until a single lazy line remains. Some animals are more equal than others. Boxer, the draft horse, hauls stones to rebuild that windmill, lungs wheezing yet still chanting, "I will work harder." His reward isn't retirement, but a one-way cart to the glue factory, traded for a cask of whiskey that keeps the pigs singing until sunrise. By the final chapter, the pigs walk upright, carry ledgers, and toast their human neighbors as old comrades. Snouts shine with butter, hooves click on the farmhouse floor. The animals outside peer through the window and can no longer tell pig from man, tyrant from liberator. The revolution has spun full circle, its promise drowned in milk and gin, leaving only the bitter truth that the farm's worst enemies always wore hooves.
It's over! All
Medea. Imagine sacrificing your homeland, your royal bloodline, even the life of your own brother, only to watch the hero you rescued trade you in like a used sailboat. That's Medea's origin story, and by the time Euripides lowers the curtain, she has rewritten the definition of scorched earth breakup. She follows Jason from Colchis to Corinth, stitches his tattered legend back together, and spends a decade propping up his ego. Then, with the ink on their wedding vows barely dry by mythic standards, Jason announces he's marrying Gloss, daughter of King Creon, because political clout looks better on a resume than loyalty. Medea loses her crown, her home, her social standing, everything except a genius for vengeance sharpened by heartbreak. Creon banishes her, but she bargains for one more day, bowing low while plotting high. That night she weaves a poisoned coronet and an enchanted robe glittering like sunrise on the Aegean. When the unsuspecting princess slips into her new outfit, the fabric fuses to skin, flame blooms from every jewel, and both Gloss and Creon die in a tableau fit for a vase painting. Yet Medea knows Jason's real treasure isn't a throne, it's their 2 young sons, living proof of his heroic saga. Her rage battles her maternal pulse, but fury wins the duel. She leads the boys into the house, and moments later their cries fade into the same hush that swallowed Glaurung. Legacy erased, lineage severed, Jason staggers into the courtyard to find nothing but silence and smoke. Overhead, a golden chariot sent by her grandfather Helios descends like a private elevator for the damned. Medea ascends, clutching her children's shrouds, unapologetic and untouched by mortal justice. No furies screech pursuit, no gods strike her down. She exits the stage victorious, leaving Jason kneeling in the dust, howling at a sky that offers no answer but the rumble of disappearing wheels.
Others win a bad reputation for their idleness.
Patrick Bateman. By daylight he glides down Wall Street like every other power-tied banker, hair so perfect it mirrors the skyline. In the lobby's revolving doors, he can't tell whether he's staring at himself or the dozen colleagues who share his haircut, his business cards, and, most dangerously, his name. Here, identity is a hologram. Flash, shimmer, gone before a handshake lands. When night folds over Manhattan, Bateman grabs the spotlight. Daylight denies him. The Valentino suit comes off. A clear raincoat goes on. An axe rises and falls to the beat of 80s synth. each blow a savage autograph that proves, if only to him, that he still exists, but slaughter doesn't fill the hollow, it deepens it. On a sleepless morning he calls his lawyer, vomiting a confession so graphic rats would gag, then hangs up shaking. That evening, the same lawyer pats him on the back at a cocktail bar, mistakes him for someone else, and praises the brilliant stand-up routine. Reality cracks like a cheap cufflink. Take Paul Allen. The rival Bateman swears he dismembered. Witnesses place Allen alive in London. Brokers claim they lunched with him yesterday. Bateman revisits the apartment he turned into a human art gallery and finds it scrubbed, staged, and listed for sale. The realtor's frozen grin dares him to mention bloodstains that might spook buyers. Whether she smells bleach or suspects bodies doesn't matter. Dollars outvote discomfort. The puzzle clicks. In a culture where faces blur and signatures look forged even when genuine, murder is just another memo nobody reads. Bateman evades justice not through genius, but because the world clocks out at 5. His final monologue isn't guilt, it's outrage. Even with designer violence, he can't stand out. Tomorrow he'll polish his business card and merge back into the herd, another expensive suit in a room full of them, still screaming, unheard.
I will kill you.
Lee Woo-jin. Picture a young billionaire with the calm smile of a chess master and a wound that never clot. That is Lee Woo-jin, the man who plans his revenge with the patience of a glacier and the precision of a surgeon. For 15 endless years he cages Odai-soo in a private prison no bigger than a studio apartment. No trial, no reason, no voice except the TV that mocks him through the bars. Outside, Woo-jin arranges every ruin. Dai-soo's wife is murdered, his daughter spirited away, and the fingerprints point straight back to the prisoner who can't even see daylight. Then the door swings open. Freedom? Number. It is just a larger stage. Woo-jin scatters clues like breadcrumbs, knowing Dae-soo's rage will chase them exactly where they need to go. Along that trail, Dae-soo meets Mi-do, a gentle sushi chef with a laugh soft enough to quiet his nightmares. They cling to each other because there's nothing else solid in the world, and their bond turns into love that feels hard-earned, maybe even redemptive. That is when Woo-jin snaps the final trap. Mi-do is Dae-soo's lost daughter. Their kisses, their trust, every tender moment was scripted by the man watching from behind one-way glass. Why such cruelty? Flashback to high school? Dae-soo once spotted a boy and a girl sharing a secret embrace and joked about it in the hallway. The rumor twisted, the girl, Woo-jin's sister, believed herself shamed and stepped off a bridge. In that instant, Woo-jin vowed to repay rumor with ruin. Now he collects. Dae-soo collapses, begging, even carving out his own tongue as payment, but Woo-jin has already won. His enemy will live on choked by a memory too poisonous to recall and too powerful to bury. Satisfied, Woo-jin presses the button on a sleek silver pistol and ends his own life in a shower of fireworks that only he can see. Dae-soo turns to hypnosis, slicing his mind into pieces so the secret might stay buried. He wakes in Mi-do's arms with a smile, until a twitch pulls his lips sideways, as though the truth is tugging from inside. Memory may sleep, but it is not dead, and that unease ensures Woo-jin's victory stretches far beyond the grave, an echo that will never fade.